coming up on an anniversary.
Yes.
And she has a new book out called Hamster on a Wheel, Cultivating Work-Life Balance. And we thought, what a fabulous way to start the year. Take a fresh breath, look at all of the richness of our lives, and help ourselves get off the wheel and into more smart ways of doing work and less stressful ways of doing work. And as part of my research, I read the book, and just before the holidays, and I have to say it had a significant impact on my ability to be relaxed while traveling to New Hampshire to visit 2 families and engage in the whole holiday mess. And it was a significant shift for me, and it was because of your book. So I'm really pleased that you're here today, and we're going to turn it over to Helene. She is going to be videotaped. Gloria specifically asked that we do this so that we can share the video later on in the year. So if you see the camera running, that's why. Please join me. And
before we do the final thing, our new member of the Leadership Development team just arrived. So Dave, maybe you want to introduce?
Sure. For those that don't know Mandy Chan, she's our registered dietitian. Been here, what, eight months? Is that correct?
8 months.
Yeah. All right. And Mandy's going to be taking on a new role in a kind of a supervisory role for the diet aids. We're going to do some restructuring in the kitchen and working more closely with dietary and nursing to bridge that gap in how we serve our residents and support living.
wow.
Welcome.
Great.
So Mandy, my name is Pat, and I help run this leadership development program. And as part of the program, every person who joins and is new, we have a buddy system. So somebody will meet with you and help explain, what is the leadership development team about, what are some of the things you've done in the past. And your buddy has volunteered, and it's Teresa. So you guys can make arrangements to meet and do your best to bring her up to speed. Thank you.
Well, I think we have to have a half-day retreat that includes the spot.
That sounds like a
You
plan.
and I.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so please join me in welcoming Helene Cho.
Wow. It's not often that I get an applause before my presentation. Usually, tomatoes being thrown outdoors, that kind of thing. So this is wonderful to be back. Thank you. I was telling Troy earlier that a couple of weeks ago, I went down to Longview, 2.5 hours south. I didn't realize it was so far away. And I did two conflict management training for lumberjacks. Great guy, but I'm serious about lumberjacks. And they taught me something really important, which is, they said, we have a really simple way of doing conflict management. 2 words. Industrial accidents. I said, you are kidding, right? No, but it was, it's great guys. And I was walking up here thinking, wow, my life has so much diversity and variety. Because we were in this really, really incredibly dirty break room, and I was afraid to go to most of the facilities, as were other people. So anyway, and look at here now, penthouse with all of you, with this view. So it's great to be here. And I'm just thrilled to see you again, because this was such a great experience. I met just some of the neatest people here and worked with you. So thanks for having me back. Not that you had a choice, but thank you. We make it sound like you had a choice. So one of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver, who writes a lot about nature and so forth, there was one line in her poem, it's the final line in her poem, and it just always stuck in my mind. I love this line, which is, what will you do with your one wild life? What will you do with your one wild life? Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the word wild, it basically is not like partying or staying up late or any of those things that it used to be when I was younger. It means more like, our life is sacred. Our life is precious. Our life is, unpredictable, of course, we all know that. So what will you do with your one wild life? And the reason why that's connected to what we're talking about today is that life is precious. every day is really a gift in some way. Some days it doesn't feel like a gift, but it really is. We're all here, living, breathing, and basically put together, no limbs missing or anything like that. So it is precious, and what I find is that having some sense of balance, and it fluctuates of course, does really help me stay what I call juicy. Juicy life. Not dried out, burnt out, but juicy. So another name for this could be how to keep your soul juicy, or how to stay sane in a hot, fast-paced, technological world. And I think hopefully you'll get introduced to some ideas that may be of help. I don't talk about anything unless I have practiced it myself or talked about it or lived it, because otherwise I feel like I'm just reading from a book. So these are all things I have tested out just for you. All right, so let me get to Okay, it's warming up now, so we can enjoy the luxury of breathing. Sometimes people are like, well, would you like to do something? I'm like, I'm just enjoying breathing. Thank you.
I
And
have
every day is a luxury.
something I can tell people in the quiet moment
Yes.
related to lumberjack, and a lot of these people know me.
Uh-huh.
I was raised by a lumberjack, and his father was a lumberjack, his brother was a lumberjack. So if anyone's ever wondered about me,
It's a tough
I
job.
need to know.
Yeah.
Teresa, should we be anticipating industrial activity?
She and I have learned some things from her family that we might be careful about. Okay, so cultivating life-work balance. This is about, I think it's true to the topic because it's always kind of precarious, if you will, and it's a moment-to-moment, day-to-day kind of thing, I find, with life-work balance. But everybody's definition of life-work balance is a little bit different. So that's one of the first things that I'm going to have you talk about within your group. What kind of words come up to you when you hear the words life-work balance? And then, we're going to have you just kind of assess your current situation, what's working for you, what might need to change a little bit. And then there are 7 ancient secret steps to cultivating more of that. And if you walk away from this session and just maybe implement one thing, it would be great. Because I often find that even, though we attend these training sessions and so forth, we go back to our office and we get right back into the hamster wheel, right? And so even if there's one thing that you walk away today, that would be great. Okay, so how would you define work-life balance? How important is it to you currently? Because frankly, there are times or there are situations where people say it's not that important. It's not my first priority. So that's really open. But within your group, if you could just take about 3 or 4 minutes and just share with each other what words come to mind when you hear that term. Just within your group. Like if anyone says, what's that?
Yeah, impossible. Is it impossible? Is what I was going to say. Rest. Yeah. To get the right balance.
One word, prioritize.
Something left to give in each area. And something.
It's real easy. They just drop off the life part, it's just work. What's the problem?
It's always a simple way.
I don't understand the problem.
So that's the answer.
That's the answer.
I see.
It's true though, I think it can really. So my senior powder is energy.
See, I feel like that's happened.
Which way am I?
It's almost all
Almost my
around.
entire day is work.
You gotta figure out how you.
Even at home.
By the time I get home,
Right.
yeah.
You know, the reason I say that, I'm sorry, Lori, the reason I say that is I work for Morrison, for Verizon. I have a laptop, company laptop, and I have work that I do outside of work. So consciously, beginning of the year, I made an effort to leave my laptop as much as possible. Because when I go home, see my kids, I make dinner, hang out, and then I get on my computer and I do more work. So I made that effort to stop that. Yeah, getting off the wheel. But it's definitely tough to do. It's definitely. Because things just don't go away.
You clearly don't pick up your phone or even messages on that. Or do you?
Oh, I see.
Oh my gosh, I'm so busy.
I do.
They are seeing the things I've delegated to the next decade. You wouldn't be telling me this.
Sure.
Couple more minutes to wrap up your conversation. 4 minutes.
Turn that off.
It doesn't shut off. It doesn't shut off for me even at night. Like 2 in the morning, it's.
Pop up and, yeah. But I think with that though, I mean, that shows, I've always believed that shows that you care about others, care about work, care about your family. If we care about ourselves, that's the biggest thing, is like, wait a minute. Otherwise I'm gonna go crazy with work, you know, so. Last night. A little bit.
Alrighty, let's have you
Wild.
get back together as a big group. So I heard some very interesting things because I have big ears and whenever I just kind of hover around, I'm absorbing. So I really think that you should share yours because it's such a simple and, you know. Is that Carl? Carl. Easy approach. Come on, Carl. He has a very easy approach. Yes.
I was just saying is, it's pretty simple. You just drop off the life part, it's all work.
No, just
If you drop off the word work, it's all life. And
Yes,
it's all
that's
there.
right. That's right. Yeah. You know, I like these simple approaches because they work for me, so I'll do that. But no, that's true. I mean, you know, our mental concept of work is like, it's work. And so no wonder sometimes we dread it or, you know, we don't want to go to work that day, whatever. Whereas if we think about everything that we do as life, this is life, this is reality, then sometimes it helps a little bit, just even that little mental adjustment, I find. So, you know, what, because some of us have grown up with the words work. Like, you gotta work hard, you gotta struggle, you gotta work your fingers to the bone, that type of thing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's even fun to work really, really hard at something. But it's not the same as you need to struggle. There's a different way. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know if you ever feel like this little stretched out hamster. I know I do. Sometimes I feel like, boy, I'm running fast, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere. I am running and I'm working hard. I'm sweating, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere. So I think it's just natural sometimes in our fast-paced, technological, ever-changing world to feel this way. That's why when I thought about the book right away, The Hamster and the Wheel came up. And now, of course, when I go to Petco, I'm always visiting my little hamsters. Fascinating creatures. Okay, so let's look at some of the steps to cultivating work-life balance. First one is learn to say no tactfully. Now, some of you, okay, I see high fives. Now, some of you may think, well, you know, there's some things I really can't say no to. And it's true, at work sometimes things get, what shall we say, handed to us. And just have to do it, that's just life. However, there is so much sometimes that we put on our plate that we don't even think that we